Okay, I'll be working on replacing the injector connectors in this video. Just stripping back the tape around the harness, and it does appear that I have had the injector wiring recall done. To the best of my knowledge, what they do is they just take this sub harness right here with the 3 connectors, and then they just crimp it in to here, the red and green and red wire, and they do the same thing on the other side, and it switches it from batch fire essentially to bank fire. I think above 3,000 RPMs or something. So before, when it's split, it would do like 1, 2, and 3, and then 4, 5, and 6, and then after the injector recall, it just separated it into 1, 3, and 5, the right side bank, and 2, 4, and 6, the left side bank. So in the interest of time and simplicity, I'm just going to leave it like it is, as long as I don't see anything messed up on this other side. As far as the wiring is concerned, I started to take it apart here. You can see this, I believe this is where they run the crimps, and then the other sub harness right here. So I'll go ahead and keep taking this apart. If everything looks good, I'm just gonna leave it the way it is, and if we're having issues, I'll come revisit it later. So it looks like this might be just the sub harness that Nissan got, and then they just crimped it in right here, and then plugged in the right side bank. Under these 2 yellow stripes, it was the same thing on the left-hand side. This is where the splice joints are, solder connectors are, where it splits into all 3 connectors. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove all this. It was, I think it was either maybe a little high resistance or something. Maybe it was just heat from the engine bay, but right around here where it was taped around these 2 connectors, it looked like the tape was more brittle than in other places. So I don't know if this was specifically right here warming up. And then we do have a little bit of crack on the insulation on the wire right there. And I don't know if you can tell, but it does look pretty corroded in there. So I might end up re-crimping these 2 wires and maybe the other side as well. So there we got all the electrical tape and stuff all cut off. So now all I gotta do is switch these connectors out to the old D-Jet style for the Mercedes-Benz injectors. All right, so here we got this, it's actually a fuel injection wiring harness rebuild kit for a Porsche, and and it has the same D-Jetronic style injector connectors. So this is a old late 70s Mercedes SEL, SL injector. This is the connector, slides right in. These are the pins. There's a little bit of resistance on the pins, so once you put it on, it should stay, but it also comes with these boots, just to make it as much waterproof as possible. So this boot just kind of stretches over the little rib on the connector for the injector there. So we're gonna start crimping them all down. I got a good set of crimpers because when I did the fuel pump, I was using a cheap old pair of crimpers or whatever, and it was not crimping the connectors, the little splices very well, and the wire came out and the fuel pump wasn't working. So we're gonna use a good one. All right, we're just gonna start on this right side over here and cut the connector off. I'm just gonna cut it all the way close to the connector because these are trash anyway. Next thing we'll do is slide the boot on.
A little bit of a tight fit, but I think it'll be okay. A little strip of wire. Might be a little much. That doesn't even look good. I'm using the wrong size. And now I've just wasted all this wire. What in the world? What's going on here? Let's do this. Try this again. There we go.
All right, time for the pin. Just gonna rest it in there. Those fat tabs are for the copper and the wire, and then these longer, skinnier tabs are to hold the insulation. So, let's see. Even though these are some pretty decent crimpers, they may not give the best crimp.
Let's see. Yeah, not too. There we go. Nope. Wasn't even in there. So that's one pin down. I think I'm pulling the insulation up over the wire that I stripped. That may have been why we weren't successful there. There we go, that's successful.
This wire going all the way through. Can't see it. Wire's going all the way through the crimp, and we got both sides folded up and then crimped down. What I'm doing is I'm just barely bending them together with the pliers part of this crimp tool. Then I'm using the curved edge on the top of the two tabs to kind of bend them in, and then I'm flipping it over and using the point to then push those tabs down into the wire. So I'm just gonna do the same thing with the little tabs for the insulation that goes around the insulation of the wire. There we go. So one tab secure, pulling on it, make sure it's not coming off. So I think we're good there. Let's go ahead and do this other one. I'm gonna go ahead and strip this just a little bit more and grab another pin. The good thing about buying this entire fuel system rewire kit from this Porsche place was that there are some other connectors for their fuel system, and all the pins are the same. So lucky me, I was able to get a couple extra pins when I mess up like that. So what we're gonna do is fold these over a little bit with the pliers and put the round end on top of those tabs. Oops. And then we'll flip it around. See if we can crimp. It looks like that side came up. So let's bend it down, try it again. There we go. Didn't quite get it to curl up into the wire, but it's crimped pretty tight, not coming off. Bend these little tabs down. There we go. Looks like we got a little short on this green wire. Let's put the connector on in. I don't think these are directional. Not going in there all the way. Am I doing something wrong here? I don't know. So pretty tight fit. Let's try this other one. Where are we hitting? I don't know if I messed up the pin and that's why it's not going in, or if it's just a really tight fit. But they are both in. Let's test it on an injector. Seems like it's a decent connection. And should be able to pull this rubber boot around here. Kind of clear the wires a little bit. All right, first one done. I guess it's all right. First one done. I'm gonna go ahead and roll through the rest of them. All right, all the D-Jet connectors and boots are on, got all the pins crimped and everything. I will say that the fitment of the pin in the connector is not great. I really had to force the pins in here. I don't know if they reached the stop. And it doesn't really seem like there's any locking mechanism in the connector for the little tabs on the pins. So I think these are the only people that make D-Jet connectors anyway, so this kind of is what it is, but they're all on. I might go grab some like cloth tape to tape up the looms or whatever, but for the most part it's done. I think I have also heard that you can use the stock connectors. Some people say that you got to Dremel some piece or something. I think what they're talking about is shaving off this lip around the connector or around the injector side of the connector so that the original connector will slide onto it. Still not a great fit. You can force it on there, but as you can hear, it makes some snapping and popping noises, and all the clips were either lost or broken. See, it broke right there. So I guess if it really comes down to it, I can buy 6 more of these connectors and then shave down the injectors and this lip, but we're gonna run what we got now.